The Air Operations Unit staff consists of a Unit Executive Officer, which is myself as the commander of the unit. I've got a sergeant who's a deputy, and we have 3 TFOs, Tactical Flight Officers, working with us in that role. Both myself and the sergeant are Tactical Flight Officers as well. Between the 5 of us, we provide the cover for the aircraft, the police operations and tactical command of the aircraft. We obviously have 2 pilots that operate in the aircraft. Those 2 pilots are both qualified in all kinds of operations. For the police operations, their experience is critical for what we do, and we're selected for that reason. So they look after the piloting side, and then we've got the other 2 in the crew are the Tactical Flight Officers. Pilots are not police officers. The pilots are civilians employed by the RCIPS, directly employed. They're selected for their experience and background for delivering what we need to do within Air Operations Unit. We're certified by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Cayman Islands for police air operations, and with that comes a responsibility to ensure that we can be able to deliver to a level that allows us to use easements the Civil Aviation Authority give us that allows us to fly at different standards to that of a public transport aircraft. We can fly longer, lower and in more hostile conditions than a normal public transport aircraft will be allowed to do. Our primary task is to come in safety, primary safety, all the way through in everything that we do. So the first thing we do is the aircraft every morning or every evening, because depending which shifts are, we'll do a full inspection of the aircraft, prepare all our equipment, make sure everything's ready to go. The aircraft is on 24-hour standby. Whether we're at the unit or not, we can always get somebody in. If we're not on duty, we will always have somebody that can get to the unit. The aircraft is always sat there with our helmets on the seats and ready to go. And we've done that countless times. When we're here, we're on standby. We've got other duties to do, and we get on with those duties. As the day progresses, the policing tasks come in, then we respond to those tasks. It could be an immediate response, we can be airborne within a minute. It could be a planned response where we've got to bring a crew in early in the morning or late at night, and that is that we're around, that we're just making ourselves available to everybody during the day to whatever we need to do. At some stage we train and train again, because everything that we do, when we need to do it in the heat of battle, as it were, we need to be able to do it without having to think about what we're doing. We need to move, so that's what we train for. We train with as a crew to constantly provide the response that we need to into the islands. The remit of the unit is to provide operational response to the Cayman Islands, not just the police. It's to the Cayman Islands generally, whether it's be border protection, search and rescue, or police response, or air ambulance, EMS support. You get a satisfaction from the conclusions when it's a good conclusion. So when we do get the results and people are under arrest, that's what we're here for. The police are here to arrest the bad guys. So when the handcuffs go on the bad guys, that is a great deal of satisfaction to anybody involved in that operation. Then when we set off with an objective to find, for example, a vessel like the Renegade that's been missing for 8 days, and within half an hour we found that vessel, and there are people waving flares at us and are obviously relieved to see us. They haven't seen anything for 8 days. We are that link to get them taken to land, and they survive. That, you cannot explain the feeling you get from that kind of a positive reaction. It goes through the crew, it goes through the police service, and it goes through the people of the Cayman Islands when you see that kind of reaction.